welcome to Market Bull. I'm Sarah Powell, and joining me is Sean Wade, CEO from Power Metal Resources. Sean, we've seen the recent very comprehensive announcement regarding the eagerly awaited results from Molopo. For those who haven't had a chance perhaps to read the entire document yet, can you summarise the key points?
Good morning, Sarah. Thanks very much for having me. And you're quite right. It is quite a long document. It's a full analysis of the drill results, and it's put in a very comprehensive format. But just to summarise, really, I mean, we've done a pretty large scale drilling program, over 2,400 meters of drilling across 5 drill holes. Bearing in mind we've got an almost 1,500 square kilometre project footprint. It's a large area to cover. Now, what we found, and I'm obviously very pleased to report, are the required ingredients which would allow for the formation of a magmatic sulfide deposit, and that's really the key point in terms of what's under the ground. And what this does really is it confirms the geological model that we postulated back in February when we announced that, and confirms the presence of nickel sulfides and also platinum group metals as well. So what this really does now is it means that we're confident of the feeder zone model that we've talked about. We are, I think, able to say that the grades would support, in all likelihood, support open pit mining, and we think that further exploration is warranted. But as I mentioned, the footprint is very large, and whilst 2,500 meters of drilling is a major commitment from us, I think what this really requires is a pretty substantial effort for beyond here. And I think what I said on the announcement is that we want to set a course now for the large scale exploration program that Molopo Farms needs to really prove its ultimate potential. And in order to do that, I think we are a capital light business, as everybody knows, and what we need is somebody who's got rather deeper pockets than we have to help us achieve that. And what I'm really pleased about is that what this announcement does is it gives me enough data and information to start having those meaningful conversations with potentially interested parties.
Thanks, Sean. That's a very helpful breakdown. Next, can we talk about this potential joint venture? Are you able to give us any insight into where you perhaps are with discussions currently?
Necessarily, obviously, these are conversations that clearly have to go on behind closed doors, and we will be able to talk about if we make progress and anything sort of comes to fruition. I think we're at an early stage. It has to be said. We've only just put these results out. But what I can say is that the interest has been incoming. I haven't yet actively gone out and marketed this or asked our advisors to do so. We have had potentially interested parties come to us and say, let's have a discussion about these assets. So that's obviously extremely encouraging. I think people realise that Botswana is a great mining jurisdiction, and we all know I think that the demand for nickel and PGs is extremely good. So we're in the right address, we're in the right commodities, and therefore it's not a surprise that having done this amount of work and got the project to this level, that there is interest. And of course, if and when those conversations become announceable, obviously we will keep the market fully informed.
Thank you, Sean. That's certainly sounding very encouraging. Finally, can we look across the rest of the portfolio? Is there any news that we can be looking out for next?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we've announced the Schedule 1 of Gold and Metal Resources. This is a very, very exciting deal for us. It's a fantastic asset or set of assets in Nevada in the US. And in particular, the tungsten asset at Pilot Mountain, is an urgent, strategic asset for the US, and we've attracted some very good investors there. So that IPO is on schedule, and the next thing you're going to hear from us, I hope, is that we've got an actual listing, and the Schedule 1 has moved on to that point. So that's number one. Secondly, also on the IPO track, we are well underway marketing First Development Resources. Again, a superb collection of assets. This time it's in Australia. And Tristan, who runs that for us, is actively engaged in marketing and having a lot of conversations with people, and as I am as well. So we hope to report some progress on that. But I think generally across the portfolio there is a lot going on, and as I said, we've had some incoming interest from people, and I think that with the moves in commodity markets, all to our benefit. And in particular, I would highlight our uranium portfolio. I mean, I did an interview a few days ago talking about that, and we have 16 properties in and around the Athabasca Basin, which we can't wait to get cracking on in terms of geophysical work and even a limited amount of exploration drilling, and that's something that we're going to be talking a lot more about going forward. I think I agree with Paul, my predecessor, that we're looking at potentially at a very exciting bull market in uranium, and I think we're in a fantastic position to benefit from that.
Sean, a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much for joining us on The Market Bull.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, Sarah.